not 3 points of reference, but I've given you 4 points of reference called the quadrahedron. And what is it? Quadrahedron contains 4 things: x, y, z, and time, which is motion. That's why you have 4. If you have no motion, all things collapse on themselves, because they only exist as 1 point, because they're not going anywhere. The point may exist that it has a 3-dimensional object, but that 3-dimensional object is so small without time that it's invisible. And yet it does exist, because it has x, y, and z. And it has A, B, C, and D. It has height. But you still need the motion of the time. Otherwise it's irrelevant.
So how would it come up?
I think he's asking if they don't have words for verbs or...
Oh, if they don't have a word for a verb?
Create a new word for them in Arabic? Right. I think that's what you're asking, right?
Okay.
Yeah, how do you handle it?
Basically in Arabic they have something like I, that would translate in English as I am a student.
Alright, that's a fair question. The sentence is, I am a student. That's an adverb, verb, adverb, verb.
Are you translating it in English?
These are the procedures of language. This is accuracy. I gave you a number code here. How did you establish your I? Now it's for the I. Now we have 27 articles, and now you're dealing with a position in I, so you're talking first person. So it's for the I, and am here is a condition of you want to establish yourself to be an am, which means you're saying I'm a person. You're a party. So this would be, well, we can do. See now, the word am is party. The I stands by itself. For the I of the party is, because you're talking singular. With this plane of a student. That would be a proper mathematical sentence. Now, here we changed articles. So this would be the, because the article the student. I can call you the student, but my accuracy would improve if I said this student.
But you'd have to refer to a specific student.
I'd have to be specific.
So if you're not referring to anything specific, then you want it to be...
if I want to say these students. See now, unique thing about the word the, A is singular first person. The, I can say the students, or I can say these. And these is a plural article for a plural noun.
I guess what I'm asking is that these are very English specific.
Yes, very English specific.
Like in Arabic, for example, as an example, the article doesn't change based on plurality or anything else. If it's indefinite, you just have a lack of an article.
And in means no definite, and de means no author. And finite comes from contract. All goes back to Latin.
And also,
it's a no-no contract. Indefinite is a no-no contract. You have to break every single word down into your primary syllables. Take your primary syllables through Latin and identify their specific definitions.
I agree. In is a prefix, isn't it? But definite is a prefix.
In is a possessive like with, unless you put it to a word. Then it becomes a negative. In means no. Okay. So once you have no, you can never prove no. You can never create a negative contract either. So if you use negative words, if you use a negative word, you've removed your condition of positive. If you're positive, you can only make positive statements.
So in this language technology, you can't make any negative statements?
That is correct. Because you can't prove a negative statement. Therefore, if you can't prove a negative statement, then your presumption, assumption, and opinion has no bearing in the fact. Only facts can be tried in court, in the court. But they call it in court, in being the adverb modifying the verb court. Now there's a law. That law says this. This is 8,500 years old. This comes from the Masons. No law or fact shall be tried in court. Now, did you know that the word and is a conjunction? We established that over here. But the word or is an argument. It's also a conjunction, but it is an argument by which the judge has jurisdiction. Without the word or, no judge has jurisdiction to hear a case. I wrote a paper 15 years ago that says, and pay rent. And the clerk of the court stood up in front of the judge. There was about 60 people in the audience at the time that said, Your Honor, Mr. Miller used the word and he doesn't give you jurisdiction because he made two orders, quit and pay. We have no ability to judge this case. The judge says, you're right, case dismissed. And then the clerk turns to me and says, it's quit or pay rent. He says, now because there's a point of decision to be made here, and you don't have a military or police force, Mr. Miller, I, as a judge, have a police force. And we're going to give this individual the choice of quitting or paying. And they have freedom of choice to come to court, freedom to make this decision. And upon their decision, we'll make a determination whether or not they're going to be evicted or you're going to get paid. It's either going to be one or the other. And so or as a conjunction is very unique in how it's used. So if we go ahead and we identify what this really says, every sentence written in all 5,000 languages for 8,500 years qualifies under these 8 words. You have no, which is an adverb, negative. Modifies the verb. Modification is change. Change is motion. Motion is action. Action is a verb. Or was neutral. Fact now becomes a joinder of also a verb. Shall is an adverb in future tense. And the future tense is a noun. Be is a thinking. Adverbs modify verbs. Tried, no prepositional phrase. Becomes a pronoun, but it ends in ed, so it's a past tense pronoun. In is an adverb. Modifies the verb court. Now, a verb is a condition of motion. A court is not a motion, it's a fact. It's a geographical location of what this room is. This is a court today. And this court today is under what's called law of the flag. That flag has a specific contract assigned to it. And that contract is published under the David Wynn Miller law claims. And those documents are here in court today to certify the condition of this room. So, because the court here is used as a verb, and it's a victim of an adverb, and an adverb is a condition of modification, the modification of the word court goes with the modification of the facts that will be brought and the modification of the law because of no. What is no? No is they say the pen. They drop the prepositional phrase and they make the an adverb modifying the verb pen. There's no such thing as a verb pen. But if the pen, which we all knew to be a noun, which was a fact, and that fact was now turned into